Narrator calm, measured, investigative tone. You've seen it in every sandwich shop, every deli counter, every backyard BBQ. It's creamy, tangy, and seemingly simple. Mayonnaise. A condiment so familiar, you probably don't think twice about what's inside. But what if I told you that some of the most popular mayonnaise brands on the shelf aren't actually mayonnaise at all by traditional standards? That's right. What you've been spreading on your BLTs, mixing into potato salads, or dolloping on deviled eggs might be a far cry from the real thing. What is real mayonnaise, and what are we actually buying? Let's start with what you think you know. Most people believe mayonnaise is just eggs, oil, and a little lemon or vinegar. Simple, natural. And for centuries, that's exactly how it was made. But in today's industrial food system, simplicity is expensive, tradition is inefficient, and profit margins demand shelf stability, not purity. Which brings us to the question, how much of what's labeled mayonnaise actually deserves that name? Over the next 20 minutes, we're going deep past the marketing, beyond the labels. We'll examine 5 widely available mayonnaise brands sold across the U.S., from major supermarkets to national chains. We'll break down their ingredient lists, analyze their processing methods, and compare them against the FDA's own standard of identity for mayonnaise. Because here's the truth. The FDA has a legal definition for mayonnaise, and not every product meets it. We'll reveal which brands are using substitutes, fillers, and hidden additives to cut costs and extend shelf life. We'll expose misleading claims like all natural and made with real eggs that don't tell the whole story. And most importantly, we'll show you which brands still honor the original formulant, why that matters for your health, your taste buds, and your right to know what you're eating. This isn't about fear, it's about transparency. Because when it comes to food, you shouldn't need a chemistry degree to understand what's in your jar. So let's begin with the standard that started it all. Section 1. What mayonnaise should really be? Narrator. To understand how far industrial mayonnaise has strayed from its roots, we need to go back to the beginning. Mayonnaise wasn't invented in a lab or a food science facility. It was born in a kitchen. Legend traces its origin to 18th century France, possibly from the port city of Mayonnaise in Minorca. Hence the name mayonnaise. But wherever it began, the original recipe was astonishingly simple. Egg yolks, oil, acid vinegar, or lemon juice, and salt. No preservatives. No natural flavors. Just for ingredients and a technique called emulsification, where oil is slowly whisked into egg yolks until they form a thick, stable cream. This is the foundation of real mayonnaise, a stable emulsion of oil and water, with egg yolks acting as the emulsifier. This isn't just culinary tradition, it's codified in U.S. law. According to 21 CFR Section 169.140, the FDA's standard of identity for mayonnaise. Real mayonnaise must contain at least 65% vegetable oil by weight. Egg yolks, whole eggs are allowed, but yolks are the key emulsifier. An acidifying ingredient like vinegar or lemon juice, optional salt, sugar, spices, and no more than 2% optional ingredients like mustard or gums, but only if they don't replace core components crucially. The FDA states, the food may not contain any added water, except as an incidental component of optional ingredients. That means water cannot be a primary ingredient, yet many products labeled mayonnaise today contain it in significant amounts. Why does this matter? Because real mayonnaise isn't just about taste, it's about nutrition, texture, and integrity. Egg yolks provide healthy fats, choline, and fat-soluble vitamins. The oil, traditionally soybean, canola, or olive, delivers essential fatty acids. The emulsion gives it that rich, velvety mouthfeel that makes it a culinary staple. But in industrial production, that richness is expensive. Eggs cost money. Fresh emulsions are fragile. And consumers demand products that sit on shelves for months without separating or spoiling. So the food industry adapted. Not by improving quality, but by redefining it. They created what's now called imitation mayonnaise, or mayonnaise dressing products that mimic the look and feel of real mayo, but rely on cheaper ingredients, stabilizers, and water to cut costs and extend shelf life. And here's the catch. These products can still be labeled mayonnaise under certain conditions, thanks to regulatory loopholes. For example, if a product uses some egg yolks but adds water, gums, or modified food starch, it can still call itself mayonnaise, as long as it meets minimum oil and egg content, even if the final product contains significantly less real mayonnaise and more filler. This is where the line blurs. It's why reading the ingredient list matters more than the front label. So now that we know what real mayonnaise isn't, what the law says it should be, let's see how today's top-selling brands measure up. We'll examine 5 widely available brands, from mass-market staples to premium health-focused options. We'll break down their ingredients, their processing methods, and how they stack up against the FDA standard. Our goal isn't to shame, it's to inform. Because when you know what's supposed to be in your food, you can make better choices. And that starts with the truth. Section 2. The Industrial Reality Brand 1. Hellmann's Real Mayonnaise Market Position. America's best-selling mayonnaise brand. Found in nearly every grocery store. Ingredient list, regular version, soybean oil, water, whole eggs and egg yolks, vinegar, salt, sugar, lemon juice, concentrate, sorbic acid, a preservative, calcium disodium, EDTA, a preservative. Analysis. At first glance, this looks close to traditional mayo. Egg yolks are present. Oil is the first ingredient. Vinegar and lemon juice provide acidity. But here's what they don't tell you. Water is the second ingredient. That means by weight, there's more water than eggs. In traditional mayonnaise, water should be negligible, trapped within the emulsion, not added as a bulk filler. And while Hellmann's meets the FDA's minimum 65% oil requirement, the high water content dilutes the richness and increases the need for preservatives like sorbic acid and EDTA chemicals used to prevent spoilage in water-based systems. Why it's done? Water is cheap, reduces oil content, saving money, extends volume, and helps stabilize the product during mass production. But it also means less real, emulsified mayonnaise per jar. Hellmann's does use real eggs, not substitutes. But the inclusion of water and preservatives places it in the category of mayonnaise dressing under FDA rules, even if it's not labeled as such. Bottom line, it's technically legal, but it's a diluted version of traditional mayo. Brand 2. Kraft Mayo Market Position, second only to Hellmann's in U.S. market share. Ingredient list: original, soybean oil, water, whole eggs, vinegar, salt, sugar, mustard seed, natural flavor. Sorbit, preservative, spice, extractives of paprika. Analysis. Kraft's ingredient list reveals a deeper departure from tradition. Like Hellmann's, water's the second ingredient, again, a red flag. But Kraft goes further. Mustard seed and paprika extract are added not for flavor alone, but as stabilizers. Mustard contains natural emulsifiers like mucilage that help bind oil and water, reducing the need for egg yolks. This allows Kraft to use less egg while still achieving a thick texture. Additionally, natural flavor is vague. While not inherently harmful, it's a catch-all term that can mask processed ingredients or flavor enhancers. And potassium sorbate is a synthetic preservative used to inhibit mold in water-rich foods. Another sign this isn't a fresh, egg-based emulsion. Regulatory note: Kraft calls this product mayo without qualification. But with water high on the list, reduced egg content, and added stabilizers, it barely meets the FDA threshold, and only because it includes some egg. This is a textbook example of cost-cutting chemistry disguised as mayonnaise. Brand 3. Veganaise Market Position. Leading plant-based mayo alternative. Ingredient list: original soy, expeller pressed soybean oil, water, brown rice syrup, pea protein, sea salt, natural flavor, apple cider vinegar, lemon juice concentrate, lactic acid, beet powder for color. Analysis. Now we enter a different territory. Vegan mayo substitutes. Veganaise contains no eggs at all, so by FDA definition, it cannot be called true mayonnaise. Instead, it's labeled just like mayo and falls under the category of imitation mayonnaise product. It uses pea protein as an emulsifier instead of egg yolks. While pea protein can stabilize emulsions, it doesn't provide the same richness or mouthfeel. The inclusion of brown rice syrup, a sweetener, and lactic acid, a preservative and acidifier, further distances it from traditional mayo. Is it safe? Yes. Is it healthy? For vegans or those with egg allergies? Absolutely. But it's important to know, this is not mayonnaise, a plant-based analog. And while some versions now use avocado oil or sunflower oil, the core formula remains egg-free and heavily processed. Consumer note: if you're choosing Veganese for health reasons, check the oil type. Soybean oil is highly refined and often genetically modified. Opt for avocado or olive oil variants when possible. Brand 4. Primal Kitchen Avocado Oil Mayo Market Position. Premium clean label brand. Popular in health food circles. Ingredient list: avocado oil, pasteurized cage-free egg yolks, organic apple cider vinegar, organic lemon juice, water, sea salt, organic rosemary extract, antioxidant. Analysis: now we're getting closer to the ideal. Egg yolks are listed second after oil, which is correct. No whole eggs, no fillers. Water is present, but lower on the list, suggesting minimal use. The oil is avocado oil, a healthier, less processed alternative to soybean oil. Rich in monounsaturated fats and naturally stable. Preservatives: none. Instead, rosemary extract is used as a natural antioxidant to prevent rancidity common in high-quality oils. This product meets the FDA standard for mayonnaise. High oil content, real egg yolks, acid, no artificial additives. It's not perfect, water is still there. Likely for texture adjustment, but it's one of the closest approximations to traditional mayo on the market. Cause note: at tilde, the 8th of August, 10 per jar. It's significantly more expensive than Kraft or Hellmann's, but you're paying for quality. Ingredients and minimal processing. Brand 5. Duke's Mayonnaise Market Position. Southern U.S. staple, known for its tangy flavor. Ingredient list: soybean oil, egg yolks, vinegar, salt, natural flavor, calcium disodium EDTA. Analysis: Duke's is an outlier and a throwback. No water, no sugar, no stabilizers. Just oil, egg yolks, vinegar, and salt. Natural flavor appears, but in minimal amounts. Egg yolks are the second ingredient, after oil, indicating a high egg content. This gives Duke's its signature thick, rich texture and bold tang. Contains EDTA, a preservative, but only in trace amounts to protect flavor. Critically, Duke's meets the FDA standard for real mayonnaise and does so with a remarkably short ingredient list. Why isn't it more popular nationally? It's likely because its short shelf life and lack of water make it less profitable for mass distribution. But for purists, Duke's is as close as it gets to homemade. Section 3. The Worst Offenders Narrator. Based on our analysis, not all mayonnaise is created equal.
Ow.
Some brands cut corners, others redefine the product entirely.
Ow.
So which ones should you avoid and why? Let's break down the 3 worst offenders based on ingredient quality, regulatory compliance, and transparency. Hash 3. Kraft Mayo, the stabilizer king. Why to avoid. Kraft uses water as a primary ingredient, reduced egg content, mustard seed as a chemical shortcut to replace egg function. Natural flavor and potassium sorbate add unnecessary processing. It's a mayonnaise in name only, a diluted, shelf-stable spread designed for cost, not quality. Health consideration. High in refined soybean oil, often GMO, low in nutrients, and reliant on preservatives. It's not unsafe, but nutritionally hollow. Number A. Hellmann's Real Mayonnaise. The misleading real. Why to avoid, despite the name. Water is the second ingredient, more than eggs. Contains sorbic acid and EDTA, synthetic preservatives unnecessary in traditional mayo. Markets itself as real while using industrial methods to extend shelf life and cut costs. The deception. The brand name implies purity, but the formula tells a different story. Real doesn't mean traditional. Number 1. Veganese Original Soy, the mayonnaise imposter. Why to avoid if you're seeking real mayo. Contains no eggs at all, disqualifying it from being true mayonnaise. Relies on pea protein and brown rice syrup processed substitutes. High in refined soybean oil and added sweeteners. Important note, this is not a critique of plant-based diets. But calling this mayo is misleading if you're expecting the nutritional and culinary profile of egg-based mayonnaise. Alternatives. Try Primal Kitchen's vegan version uses avocado oil and no added sugar, or Sir Kensington's Fabonnaise. Section 4. The Safe Alternatives Narrator. Now for the good news. There are brands making real, traditional mayonnaise right here in America. These products honor the original formula: oil, egg yolks, acid, and salt, nothing more. Here are the 3 safest, highest quality options you can trust. Hash 1. Duke's Mayonnaise. Why it's safe. no water, high egg yolk content, no sugar, no stabilizers. Meets FDA standard for real mayonnaise, made in the USA with minimal processing. Where to find? Southern grocery chains, Walmart, Amazon. Price approximately 4 for $5 per jar, surprisingly affordable. Best for those who want rich, tangy, no-nonsense mayo. Number 2. Primal Kitchen Avocado Oil Mayo. Why it's safe. Avocado oil healthy. Stable fat, cage-free egg yolks, no preservatives, non-GMO, paleo-friendly. Clean label. Where to find? Whole Foods, Target, Thrive Market. Price approximately the 8th of August, 10 premium, but justified. Best for health-conscious consumers seeking clean, nutrient-dense mayo. Number A. Blue Plate Mayonnaise, New Orleans. Why it's safe. Made with whole eggs and egg yolks, no water, and no sugar. Simple ingredients. Oil, eggs, vinegar, salt-rich, creamy texture, crafted in small batches. Where to find? Southern U.S. online retailers. Price approximately $5.56. Best for traditionalists who value flavor and simplicity. Continuation. Narrator. So how do you make sure you're buying real mayonnaise? Here's your shopper's checklist. Check the first 3 ingredients. Oil should be first. Egg yolks or eggs should be second. Water should not be in the top 3. Avoid mayonnaise dressing or mayo-style spread. These are legal loopholes for imitation products. Watch for red flag additives. Sorbic acid, potassium sorbate, EDTA, preservatives, modified food starch. GUR, added, sugar, or syrups. Look for certifications. Non-GMO, Project Verified USDA, organic. Cage-free or pasture-raised eggs. Ask, does this taste like eggs? Real mayo has a rich, eggy depth. If it tastes flat or artificial, it's likely diluted. You don't need to be a food scientist. Just read the label like a detective. Conclusion. Narrator. We set out to answer a simple question. What is real mayonnaise? And what we found is both troubling and empowering. Troubling because many of the brands we trust are using water, stabilizers, and reduced eggs to cut costs while still calling their product mayonnaise. But empowering because you now have the knowledge to choose better. This isn't about perfection. It's about information, intention, and transparency. The food industry won't change overnight, but consumer demand drives innovation. When enough people choose real ingredients, companies will follow. So next time you're in the condiment aisle, don't just grab the familiar jar. Look at the label, ask questions, support brands that respect tradition. Because food shouldn't be a mystery, and mayonnaise should be simple. If you found this investigation helpful, share it with someone who cares what's in their food. And subscribe. We're uncovering the truth behind everyday products, one label at a time. Until next time, stay curious and eat well.